Hi, this is John with Vicarious Visions. I'm here with Mihali Savoulidis from Twiddle.
Howdy.
Thanks for taking some time today with us, Mihali. I certainly
Pleasure.
appreciate it. So let's get right into some questions. Twiddle's popularity has exploded in the last couple of years as you guys have reached further out of your home state of Vermont. You found yourself playing for larger audiences, including a recent tour with The Works and a supporting role in 2015 String Cheese Incident Run at Red Rocks. You guys did support along with Built the Pod and Medicine for the People. What's it been like to experience the sudden rise in popularity, and what have you guys done as a band differently that's kind of promoted that?
I mean, I think first of all, we all just feel really blessed, that we've had some success in the last couple of years. We've been a band for about 11 years now. So, I mean, we were touring, it felt like we were touring forever, and not seeing no progress, but seeing, just kind of staying at it's hard to describe, but in the last few years, we definitely noticed more attendance at the shows and, more excitement from the fans. And really, I think when it comes down to it, it's really all our fans becoming so passionate behind the music and the message and just, giving us an opportunity to play bigger and better clubs and more cities across the country.
I think there's been a real increase in conscious music in the last couple of years.
For sure.
And I think that's probably helped. I mean, you guys you're lyrically really fit into that category, but you tend to take it maybe a little bit more from the surface of being just inspirational music.
Yeah, I mean, I think we noticed a little bit ago that, we were blessed with a platform where, we can and maybe say things that will make a difference or make someone's day better, or give someone a little bit of hope that might not have it at that moment. And even from the biggest to the smallest, I think all those things are really important. And we all feel if you could just help one person out every day, that's a great thing to do. And if you have the power to get through to people through your words or your message, I think that's I think that's a great responsibility that should be utilized, really. I mean, why not?
It's definitely worked in the circles that I've been in, for sure.
Yes.
We all appreciate it. Twiddle released Plump in December of 2015. A lot of the songs on the album were tried and tested in regular rotation in front of audiences before recording them in the studio. What do you think is the advantage of developing your music in front of a live audience before recording, while so many other bands tend to record first and then release their music to live audiences?
I think for us, a lot of it was situational. A lot of these songs we had just been playing for so long, and when it came time to finally put a studio album out, we all felt like it would be wrong to just kind of skip this great bulk of our work that people have grown to love and have been hearing for years, and just go with the new stuff. So I think we just kind of went into it with the mindset that these songs did all sort of develop live, which is a great thing. And then it was sort of like working in reverse on how do we take something that is usually much longer and a lot of improvisation that goes into it, and how to put that into like a studio context. That was definitely like a battle for us, is trying to really just put the song down for itself without any of the. We purposely tried to not make the studio sound like the live show. So I think that we had a lot of tunes and there was still a lot of songs I wish kind of had made it that didn't, and they probably might not ever make it on a studio album, but that's okay too. I mean, it's all fine. But this next chapter of it was all new stuff. So we did like a total reverse on that, which is also just as fun and really cool for us to do, because it's the first time we ever rolled in to a studio session with really not any material in mind, and got together the four of us to really write together again and just try and come up with new stuff for you.
As a fan, it's been really interesting to. My exposure has been to your live music first, and your studio music second. So as a fan, when the new album came out, to have that familiarity with it has really been kind of exciting. In 2015 at Friendship, you did a performance medley with Nahko, Bear of Medicine for the People. How did that performance come together, and how much time did the two of you have to prepare for it?
Myself and the band, we respect Nahko and his band, greatly. We really agree with their message and their whole thing. And I had met him a few times previous to Friendly Gathering, backstage at random shows and stuff, and we had chatted. And Jack Petrani puts on Friendly Gathering, who's a really good friend of mine who knew I really wanted to collaborate with Nahko. And I think he's the one that made the friendship thing happen, kind of through emails. And Nahko's a super cool dude. He was really laid back, and we just kind of, when he got to Friendly, he did a little performance, and then we went to the green room, and we just kind of threw out some ideas for about maybe an hour with our guitars, and just kind of came up with a couple things, and we really kind of rolled into it winging it. Like, we didn't really have a plan. We just kind of knew generally a few tunes that either one of us could pull out that we could go into.
Sure.
That's kind of how it came about. But I'm looking forward to working with him in the future for sure.
Perfect. That was going to be my next question.
Yeah.
Nahko's got a really big following here in the Minnesota area. Wookiefoot really kind of helped propel him to the current level. So it's really been exciting in this area to see that you guys have had that relationship. The summer festival season is rapidly approaching. I know you've got some very interesting plans in development. Twerkapod, the 90s tribute set with the Works and Dopapod.
Very exciting.
You're going to be making your debut appearance at Harmony Park here in May for the Revival Festival. Yep. And I know that you guys have also recently announced the Tumble Down Festival in July.
Yeah.
What are you looking forward to this summer?
This summer's been great. There's a lot of, I'm really looking forward to getting back to Red Rocks and, playing with Disco Biscuits. That's going to be great. It's not really this summer, but coming up, we've got the Capitol Theater show in May in New York, and we've really wanted to play that venue for a really long time, so it's really cool that we finally get to do it, and it looks like it's going to be a good night. Tumble Down I'm most excited about. It's really our first major event that we've had complete control over kind of how the whole thing is working, and it's nice to have a hand in sort of the all the stuff that goes on in the background that we don't really ever do or see in the whole kind of festival event networking thing. I'm really excited to announce the rest of the bands. I think people are going to be really stoked with the lineup, and we really are just trying to spark the entire Burlington music scene that weekend. We're going to try and have music with our friends and everything going on at every possible spot, and it's just going to be very electric. I'm excited to kind of whip Burlington to a musical frenzy, so they say.
It's already generated quite a buzz, so congratulations on that next step.
I'm excited for that.
And finally, one of the biggest attractions to Twiddle is your one-of-a-kind sound. It's unique and original, yet it's oddly familiar the very first time you hear it. What are your biggest musical influences, and what are some of the influences that other members of the band have that help develop your sound?
Yeah, I think the reason why our sound is can be diverse, from song to song, is because we all kind of came from very different musical influences, and my personal influences kind of come from two different worlds. One is from the singer-songwriter world, where when I was much younger, it was a lot of Nirvana and Sublime, and then kind of Dave Matthews, Bob Marley, just. People I consider that wrote really great songs, with lyrics I could get into, and a hook or just something catchy that stuck in my head. And then once I kind of started getting more into electric guitar and trying to go down that path, it was all Trey, and Trey for years, and then Jerry, and then whoever I was. Jerry actually came a little later in when I was studying or whatever, when I was trying to get better. But the one guitar player I really fell in love with that kind of changed the way I looked at like speed and you know, the ability to play the melody through your solo or whatever was Ernest Ranglin, who's a Jamaican jazz guitar player.
Okay.
And you know, I just really fell in love with his style of playing. I mean, in no way can I play like him. I wish I could, you know, but definitely some of the influence is there. And you know, Jimmy Herring, I think might be my most favorite guitar player ever. I can't really. It's like when I hear him, I just want to cry, or start practicing, one or the other. You know, but early on it was you know, a lot of Trey. I think that's probably why I went to school in Vermont to try and find a band. I was just trying to, you know, follow his lead, and you know, it worked. I guess it seems to be working.
It definitely does seem to be working. Well, Mihali, I certainly appreciate your time. Thanks for taking a few moments with us today.
My pleasure, man. Thanks so much.
Finishing up the last half of the tour, and then you said Capital show is in May?
Yeah, May 7th, I think.
And Tumble Down in July.
Correct.
All right, well, look for Twiddle when they're coming to your area. Thanks again.
Thank you.
Feel your mind at ease, but I can read the definition. When you ain't controlling, I can pass around a while.